Hello, once again. Welcome back to Infinite Jeff. I'm Jeff, and I'm reading Infinite Jest, which is a novel by David Foster Wallace, published originally in 1996. At least I hope so. I've been saying that the whole time. Yeah, 96. Okay, good. And I'm reading it one page at a time on the internet for you, beautiful people. But just a brief, behind the scenes, how the sausage is made look, and just because I want to remember this if I ever go back and listen to this. It's 1:15 on March 4th, 2020, with Hugh Downs, Barbara Walters. And it's the day after Super Tuesday, and I currently have the day off, and I'm recording a couple of these. And I am going to do trivia tonight at the bar, Wolverine Brewing, tonight. So that'll be fun. And the coronavirus is currently a thing. If this is like years in the future and you're like, oh, man, I remember the coronavirus. Well, it's, ramping up, I guess. Messaging from China suggests that they are containing it, but who knows how accurate that is. It's the day after Super Tuesday, so no one's talking about the coronavirus currently because we live in a weird society. So I guess just remember how you felt that day. But this is page 20 of David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest. Bedroom, except to go to the refrigerator and the bathroom, and even then the trips would be very quick. He had to throw out all his beer and liquor, because if he drank alcohol and smoked dope at the same time, he would get dizzy and ill. Should have been there. And if he had alcohol in the house, he could not be relied on not to drink it once he had started smoking dope. He'd had to do some shopping. He'd had to lay in supplies. Now, just one of the insect's antennae was protruding from the hole in the girder. It protruded, but it did not move. He had to buy soda. He had to buy soda. Oreos, bread, sandwich meat, mayonnaise, tomatoes, M&Ms, almost home cookies, ice cream, a Pepperidge Farm frozen chocolate cake. Not Pepperidge Farm, like I always thought growing up, but Pepperidge. Interesting factoid. And 4 cans of canned chocolate frosting to be eaten with a large spoon. Been there too. He'd had to log an order to rent film cartridges from the Interlace Entertainment outlet. He'd had to buy antacids for the discomfort that eating all of he would eat would cause him late at night. He'd had to buy a new bong because each time he'd finished what simply had to be his last bulk quantity of marijuana, he decided that was it. He was through. He didn't even like it anymore. This was it. No more hiding, no more imposing on his colleagues and putting different messages on his answering device and moving his car away from his condominium and closing his windows and curtains and blinds and living in quick vectors between his bedroom's interlaced telepewters, films, and his refrigerator and his toilet. And he would take the bong he'd used and he'd throw it away wrapped in several plastic shopping bags. His refrigerator made its own ice in cloudy little crescent blocks, and he loved it. When he had dope in his home, he would always drink a great deal of cold soda and ice water. His tongue almost swelled at just the thought. He looked at the phone and the clock. He looked at the windows, but not at the foliage in the blacktop driveway beyond the windows. He had already vacuumed his Venetian blinds and curtains, and everything was ready to be shut down. Once the woman who said she'd come had come, he would shut the whole system down. It occurred to him that he would disappear into a hole in the girder inside him that supported something else inside him. He was unsure what the thing inside him was, and was unprepared to commit himself to the course of action that would be required to explore the question. It was now almost 3 hours past the time when the woman had said she would come. A counselor, Randy, with an eye, with a mustache like a Mountie, had told him in the outpatient treatment program he'd gone through 2 years ago that he seemed insufficiently committed to the course of action that would be required to remove substances from his lifestyle. He'd had to buy a new bong at Bogart's in Porter Square, Cambridge, because whenever he finished the last of the substances on hand, he always threw out all of his bongs and pipes, screens and tubes and rolling papers and roach clips, lighters and Visine and Pepto-Bismol and cookies and frosting to eliminate all future temptation. He always felt a sense of optimism and firm resolve after he discarded the materials. He'd bought the new bong and laid in, and that was page 20